Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. Okay, we're in Holy Week in the Christian calendar, but also at sundown tonight, Wednesday night, Passover starts. It's a week of celebration in the Hebrew world, in the Hebrew life, and the first and second nights are generally the nights of the big Passover feast, the Seder, which I think is the Hebrew word for order. It's ordered. Here's a Passover Haggadah, which is the kind of like the manual. It's the how-to book. And Passover is a great time of celebration because it celebrates Israel's liberation from slavery in Egypt as God reached down, conquered the Egyptian gods, including Pharaoh, who was considered a god, and got his people released, bringing them out of bondage into freedom and into a land flowing with milk and honey, the promised land. Now, that's the celebration, and a Haggadah is going to give you some good instructions generally on what to do. Now, I'm here in my library kitchen, because if we were going to have a Seder feast, if we were really going to be ready, what I would be doing is going through getting rid of all of the leaven, the matzot. Matzot is the bread, the unleavened bread, but getting rid of all of the leaven. Leaven in the Old Testament was symbolic of sin. And so you get rid of the leaven the way you also want to try and get rid of the sin in your life. But it's especially focused in on the fact that God told the children of the Hebrew children in Israel, you get ready to go. No time to put leaven in your bread, because when the Lord says go, you go. So you need to be in ready mode. So, hey, I'm looking at this. These are my favorite crackers, by the way. These things are beastly good. And they are certified kosher, but generally you want it to say certified kosher for Passover. It means this probably has got to go away. It's trash. I know that's got leaven in it. That's a goner. You're saying, what's leaven? Oh, it's yeast, but it's also like baking soda and baking powder and things like that. They cause things. Oh, these, no shot, these are staying in the kitchen. Chocolate, I might be okay with this one. But all of that gets cleaned out. And then there's this wonderful meal, and the Passover meal has certain key ingredients to it. It's got hard-boiled eggs, you get a lamb shank, you get the bitter herbs to remind you of the bitter time. And then the actual meal unfolds with the youngest person starting by asking 4 questions. And the first question that's asked is, why is this night any different than another? And it is because it's the night that celebrates the liberation of the children of Israel from Egypt. Now, this is also Christian Holy Week. So as a Christian, the Passover has incredible significance, not only as the liberation of freedom for the Israelite slaves, but also as, in essence, the liberation of humanity from slavery to sin. You see, Jesus is the Passover lamb in Christian understanding that was slain for the forgiveness of sins so that we could, as people, live a life free from that bondage and law that says you sin and you die. So this has tremendous impact for us. So here's what I want to do. I want to talk about it more tomorrow. But for right now, I want to end this video thought for the day with you and I asking this question: what makes this night any different than others? In the Jewish tradition, it's because it's a night that begins the celebration of the Passover, the liberation from slavery. But as a Christian, it's also the night that begins the understanding of how God redeemed us from a life of sin and of slavery there. It's a wonderful night. Be thinking about it, and join me again tomorrow on our video thought for the day.